Here we are. We are live. I am live. Yay! Good morning. Yep, I'm a little bit late. That's just going to happen. I was tied up last night trying to get my phone to work, y'all. My phone won't work. I switched over to T-Mobile and now I'm not getting calls. I'm getting some calls, so they think it's working. And I'm like, no, but I'm getting emails from people that to me and they can't reach me. So anyway, I'm having all kinds of difficulties with that. So all of you need to call me today so I can see if it's coming through. I changed some settings this morning, so we'll see. But I usually get a lot more calls and messages. I'm kind of enjoying the quiet, but I need my messages and calls. We're talking about clients here. We're talking about cardiologists, Chris's doctors, nurses, and my phone for whatever reason isn't working. So it's a new phone. I don't know. Anyway, oh, a text. Yay! It's probably telling me that my phone doesn't work, right? So, anyway, so we'll see what it is. Anyway, at least I did finally get a text. It's from T-Mobile. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, pray I get my phone worked out. I need a phone, right? I need my phone. Uh, so call me and we'll see if it's working today. Anyway, so this morning I was actually up at 4 this morning and I thought, well, I should just go ahead and get coffee. I get up my alarm goes off at 5 anyway. Just go ahead and get up and get around and then I sat there for just a minute. I thought, man, I'm really wide awake. And the next thing I know, my alarm was going off at 7 for me to clock in for the PCA job. So I'm like, well, that didn't work very well. That wasn't productive, was it? But I got a little bit of extra sleep, and I'm sure that that's very productive because I don't like to sleep because it wastes my time. So as I got up, I got my coffee. I was reading, praying, thinking. What got me along these lines of thinking was I read Dennis Jernigan sends out a devotion every morning, and it's a real short little thing. And he had something in there. He said, uh, "What if Jesus waited until he felt like it to go to the cross?" Because I went and read. If we read Gethsemane, Jesus was like, "This just really is painful. This is really hard." And he was but he also prayed, "Lord, not my will, but yours. I'm going to lay down these fears, these pains, this apprehension of this horrible thing that's going to happen because I know what's on the other side of it, and I'm going to trust God, my Father God, to get me through it." Right. So that's what the line of thinking I was going was because sometimes I don't. It's easy to say to let peace reign in our heart, but sometimes we don't feel like it. It's hard to do. It's not always easy. And so we have to work through those emotions sometimes to get hold of him, to trust him, we have to make ourselves get past a difficult situation so that we can experience that peace. And when we're in the middle of something, that's not always easy, but we can't wait till we feel like it. We can't wait, just blow it off, forget it. No, we have to say, I'm going to let his peace reign. I'm going to remind myself, what was it David always says? I tell myself, praise the Lord. I tell myself, we have to tell ourselves sometimes to reach out and take hold of God. Encourage ourselves like David did and say, I'm going to trust him today. Remember, we've talked about declarations. So this is where my thinking was going. And here's where I ended up was in Hebrews 12. Jesus said, the writer of Hebrews says in verse 2 of chapter 12, well, actually, we'll just go ahead and read 1 and 2. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses. Now, he's just given, in chapter 11, the writer of Hebrews has just given a whole list of examples of people who had faith and just trusted God in very hard circumstances. You see, faith isn't something that helps you escape hard circumstances. Faith is something that carries us through those hard circumstances, right? It gets us through them, but it doesn't make us avoid them. It doesn't make them go away, right? So he's just given a list. He said, all these witnesses that say God is enough, all these witnesses that say God's got you, all these witnesses, their lives tell us that God can help us make it through anything we're facing, right? So he says, go on. We look at all these witnesses. Let us then lay aside every weight, the sin which so easily ensnares us or traps us up or distracts us. Let us run with endurance the race set before us, looking unto Jesus. And Jesus is the author and finisher of our faith. Listen to this part. Here's the part I want to pull out. Who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and now he is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. So it says the cross wasn't a pleasant experience for Jesus. It was not a Good Friday for him, right? We call it Good Friday, but it was not a Good Friday for Jesus. He knew that it was going to hurt his physical body. He knew that that was actually a spiritual fight too. So he was fighting on every possible level. His emotions, his mind was fighting him, and he didn't really want to go through it. But for the joy set before him, he endured it. That man, that God is who is the author of our faith. So we can go through hard things because we know he did. But here's what I want to focus on. It says he for the joy set before him. What was that joy? What was it that Jesus was looking forward to for the other side of the cross? Because he wasn't looking forward to the cross, but he knew on the other side of the pain, on the other side of the difficult circumstances, on the other side of all of that, he knew what was there. You. You are the prize he was fighting for. See, I've run a lot of races. Gosh, I don't even know how many. I know I've done over 100. I don't even know how many medals I've got. They're all in boxes in the closet right now. But I would run if they said giving a medal out for a finisher's medal. I'm like, I'm in. I'd signed up for all these races. I did 5Ks, 10Ks, 8Ks, uh, half marathons, just one full marathon, one and done. I think I did around 26 or 27 half marathons. And it was for a medal. That was my prize. I wanted that medal because that medal said I was enough. Right? That medal said you can do it. That medal said you got a little grit. That medal says you met the challenge. It was just a little medal. I don't know that I would go through the cross for a medal. I know I wouldn't. Right? I don't know that very many people I would go through the cross for, but Jesus looked at the cross and went, "This is very difficult. This is really hard. This is going to be painful. But on the other side of this, everybody is free. On the other side of this, there's no hindrances or blockages to my people walking in peace, to those I love having a relationship with me. You are the prize. You are that prize, that joy that he was looking to for on the other side of the cross. That's what helped him have the guts to go through a difficult situation. Was he was like, yeah, but on the other side of this, then I have sweet communion with everyone. I get to clothe them in my righteousness. They don't righteousness. I was telling someone the other day, righteousness isn't a switch. You turn it on, I'm righteous. You turn it off, I'm not. No, he clothed us in his righteousness. He made us righteous. It was the cross that paid for that, right? And now that was his joy to be able to say, you know what? Let me just fix it for you. It was his joy to just say, I'm going to bridge that gap. Let's bridge that gap. And now you can have open and clear communication, open and clear, free relationship with God, right? There's nothing that stands in the way except our own heads. And he's like, I'm leaving my peace here, so now you can have, peace is here. The Prince of Peace made peace, right? That was his joy. You are that prize that he went to the cross for. That should do something for you, because I know I have feelings of not being worthy, normal feelings. We shouldn't feel, oh yeah, well, I'm worthy, yeah, sure, he should have died. No, we don't. Of course we're not going to feel that way. Right? I never feel that way. I never feel like I was worth it. But Jesus said, you're worth it. You are that joy he was looking for. That relationship with you was that joy he was looking for on the other side of the cross. And that's why he went through it. Doesn't that just blow your mind? That he said, oh, but this is really painful. This is really hard. This is really difficult. I'm going to obey the Father, but this is really hard. Oh, but down in 2023, there's people who are still going to be seeking me, and I can make it easy for them to get to me. I can make it easy for them to get to the Father. I can make it easy for them to just accept my peace and let it reign in their hearts. I can just clothe them with my grace and my mercy and cover them with my righteousness. Yeah, let's do this. You were the prize. And that should just do something in your heart that makes you go, wow, was I worth it? And absolutely, absolutely you are worth it. Absolutely. If you weren't, Jesus would not have gone ahead and gone through it, right? He would have said, No, y'all, them people's crazy," right? No, he said, "You're worth it. You're my prize." And he said, for that joy that he could see on the other side, he endured the pain, the shame, the heartache of the cross, so that today you can say, "I know I'm righteous, but not because of anything I did. I'm righteous because of what God did. I'm righteous because of what he did. I'm holy because of what he did." Yeah, and it was enough. And I was enough for him to go. And I was that joy. I'm his prize. You're the apple of his eye. Isn't that awesome? And so we can fight through that. And maybe sometimes it's an everyday battle. We'll fight through that and just go, "Thank you. Thank you for doing this for me. Thank you for fighting for me. I'm the medal you're going to hang on the wall," right? Yes. So he did all of that so that we could have his peace. He said, "I'm leaving my peace here." So we can walk in that. We can walk in his righteousness. We're covered by his blood when we trust. He forgave all the sins of the world. It's just up to us accepting that and realizing it and going and accepting his forgiveness. He already forgave us. And if you don't realize it and accept it, he didn't unforgive you. He still forgave you. So we want to come into that and realize that we were that prize and we were worth it, and we can just let his peace reign because we're what brings him joy. Isn't that that thought blows my mind, that I am what brings him joy. Think about that today. And while you're doing it, peace out. Have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow.